Anther Northwest. I was vibing and everything was going really well. And then in the middle of me getting into fursuit, like you guys need to understand, I was getting into suit at this exact moment in time. Mara and I get notifications on our phone that my car alarm has gone off. And so I'm like, oh, that's unusual. It's probably like just a false alarm though, right? And then I opened up my phone app and looked at the camera and no. So there's two guys standing in front of the car. And I'm like, that's not good. This is not the right time to be doing these guys. Well, I'm in the middle of trying to explain something. Anyway, I'm just vibing. Yes, exactly. It's A&W, like the brand of root beer. So I go down and there is a vehicle parked right in front of a no parking sign. So he had blocked me and the truck next to me in. And the truck did not have enough room to get out without sideswiping the front of my bumper. So he hit the front bumper of my Model S, and that sucked. That was like, oh shit, you know, this kind of blows, but not too bad. I still have to file that insurance claim. That's been on my mind. I have to do that insurance claim. And it was like, you know, it was super goofy and silly and funny, as I'm sure you can all imagine. Whoa, my car was hit by another car. This is a really wacky prank to happen at a furry convention. I was fine with it. It wasn't a big deal. But this was just the beginning. I was driving another car to and from the con because there was the car meet that I made a little video about, and my other car, my BMW, its turn signals stopped working while I was like the next day I had to do a 370 kilometer drive in one go with no turn signals. And I did. I made it home safe. But like, so then I had to book that in. And then a few days later, it's the following week. I have to get one of my other cars because I have a tiny little goofy silly car collection. I like cars, right? I take that car to its appointment to get inspected. This is after I have just replaced the windshield, which was $2,000, and then it gets the inspection, which is $200, and it fails. Because, I kid you not, they inspected everything. This car that I have driven for 4 years with minimal maintenance had no issues, except one of the rear suspension joints had failed. So, I had to then, and they told me it was gonna be $2,600 to fix. And I'm like, oh, fuck. But they said it's because it has to be both sides, but if you go to the company directly, they can do it. So I take it to them directly. They're like, don't worry, this will only be $1,100. And I'm like, you know what? That's still a lot of money, but to get the car road legal again, that's not a super big deal. So I get it and I take it in, they start working on it and discover that the entire right side, the entire passenger side suspension on the rear of that car is shot. It needs to be entirely replaced. And so the quote went up to $1,400, which I was like, okay, you know what? That's not that bad. It's just a couple more joints. It's not a big deal. And then the same day, the quote went up 2 more times, and my final bill was $1,680. So I like, you know, it's $500 more than originally thought, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. So I did that. But the insult to injury here is I had to tow my car there because it's not road legal right now because it failed the inspection. So when I called the towing company, they were like, hey, this is going to be $250. And I'm like, that's fine. That's not a big deal. And they're like, we promise we will get it to its appointment on time. The guy shows up 10 minutes before the appointment for a 50-minute drive. And get this, I'm not even shut up. He then loads the car up, which takes 30 minutes, which is super long. And then he's like, hey, Ivy, so yeah, I don't have diesel in my truck. I need to put diesel in it. And I'm like, oh my God, why didn't you say that before you loaded up my car? What the fuck, man? So we had to go on a detour to his company. And then he loads the truck with diesel. He loads the truck with diesel. And get this. Takes 5 minutes. He moves it to a new spot on the lot and then goes into the company building for a half hour. For a half hour. We are now an hour and a half late. And then he finally shows up. We get it there. I have to pay the full $250 that he quoted me, which I was paying because I was under the impression they would get it there on time. Put the car in. So I was late. It took up my entire afternoon when I'm already having a bad week. I get that in, like, and it's whatever, man. But then it gets even worse because an unrelated thing from a car dealership, on the day that I'm starting my move, they call me and they're like, hey, so you know that bank draft that you gave us? You know, for those that don't know, a bank draft is cash. So you know that bank draft you gave us? Yeah, so our accounting team lost it. And I'm like, you lost a $21,000 check? Like, sorry, you lost a $21,000 draft? How? How do you lose that? And anyway, like, I'm not on the hook for that, to be clear. I'm not on the hook for that. Like they assured me, they're like, don't worry, like, you're still fine, like, but we'd appreciate if you'd help us. And I'm like, I'll help you how I can, but you guys lost it. So to summarize, hold on. I forgot to mention. Did I mention that earlier in this same week that I get a call that they lost $21,000, and that I have had to spend $4,000 getting one of my cars road legal, that my Odyssey G9, my daily driver monitor I've had for 2 years, it died? It, like, just suddenly, and I had to run out and buy 2 new monitors for my stream because it was the only way for me to work. Oh, I forgot. And my M6, the one that I was selling and I got rid of, I return after not driving it for a couple of weeks and it's full of molds. Like, everything. And my Telus bill was double what they said it was going to be. Dude, chat, I need you guys to understand that, like, I'm genuinely not in a bad mood right now, and, like, it's not the end of the world, but I think that, like, my feeling like I'm going insane the past week because of everything that has happened, I think that is such a reasonable response to everything, because, like, in short, out of my actual pocket, the money that I wouldn't say lost, because it's like some of it was maintenance and like fixing things, but like the amount of money I had to spend last week was like $8,000. And I was like, holy fuck, dude. Like it basically ate up all of my emergency like fund headroom that I have, because I'm just like, that's like, whoa, my God, that's so much money. Anyway, that was how my week went, guys. How did your weeks go?